For the longest time, AI has felt like this thing that's always just around the corner. Well, that's all changed. It's not coming anymore, it's here. So the real question isn't what will AI do, it's what is it already doing? Today, we're going to look at AI agents, these really smart autonomous systems, and see how they're quietly creating billions of dollars in value for businesses you interact with every day. The future's already here, so let's dig in and see how it works, right? It sounds like the setup for a really weird joke. But the answer, well, it connects a streaming giant, a huge bank, and critical infrastructure, and it reveals this massive shift in how the modern world actually runs. See, they are all using incredibly sophisticated AI agents to tackle their biggest, most expensive problems. And by looking at these three, we can actually uncover a kind of universal playbook for how to make AI succeed. Okay, so before we dive in, let's just get on the same page with a super simple definition. What even is an AI agent? Just think of it like this. It perceives its environment, so it's taking in data like you're viewing history on Netflix, a credit card swipe, or sensor readings from a turbine. Then it reasons about a goal, like keeping you watching or stopping a fraudulent purchase. And finally, it takes action. It recommends a movie or it blocks that transaction. Perceive, reason, act. That's it. That's the engine driving everything we're about to see. All right, first up, let's go somewhere we've all been, that digital world of just endless choice. Whether you're scrolling through a streaming service or an online store, AI agents are out there tackling a very human problem, that feeling of being totally and completely overwhelmed. I mean, we've all been there. Psychologists actually have a name for it, the paradox of choice. When you're faced with a million different options, your brain just kind of short circuits. For a company like Netflix, this is a business killer. If you can't find something to watch in a couple of minutes, you get frustrated and you just leave. So their challenge wasn't just to build a massive library. It was to build a unique, personal storefront for every single user. And the AI agents that do this had become crazy sophisticated over the years. I mean, it started out simple with something called collaborative filtering, which is basically people who liked this movie also liked that one. But that falls apart when you have millions of users. So next came matrix factorization to handle all that massive scale. Today, we're in the era of deep learning, where the AI can spot these subtle, weird patterns in your behavior that you probably don't even notice yourself. And the next big thing, which is already happening, is foundation models. AI that tries to understand your whole journey, your evolving tastes, not just your last few clicks. So you might be wondering, does all that tech actually work? Well, get this. Over 80% of what people watch on Netflix comes directly from these AI recommendations. It's not just some cool little feature, it is the absolute heart of their business model. It's how they turn that paralyzing paradox of choice into their biggest advantage. Okay, so that was entertainment. Now let's raise the stakes. A lot. We're moving from what to watch on a Friday night to protecting your money. We're diving into the high-speed world of financial fraud, where the decisions have to be perfect and they have to happen in the blink of an eye. For a bank like Capital One, the challenge here is this incredible balancing act. Their AI agent has to spot a criminal and stop them cold in milliseconds. But, and this is a huge but, it can't get it wrong and block your legitimate purchase. That kind of friction doesn't just annoy you, it completely shatters your trust in the bank. So it's this constant battle of security versus customer experience. And this is the tightrope these AI agents are walking every single second of every day. On one side, you've got a false positive. That's when your card gets declined at the grocery store for no reason. It's super frustrating, right? On the other side, you've got a false negative. That's when a criminal's purchase actually goes through. That's a direct loss for the bank. Getting that balance right is everything. So how on earth do they do it? Well, there's no single magic trick. They use a layered defense, kind of like a digital fortress. Layer 1 is basic anomaly detection, just spotting anything that looks weird. Layer 2 uses supervised models to see if a transaction looks like a known type of fraud from the past. Layer 3 gets really personal with behavioral analytics, asking, hey, is this how this specific person normally behaves? And the fourth and smartest layer is network analysis, which tries to connect the dots and see if a bunch of seemingly random events are actually a coordinated attack. And the payoff for getting all this right is just massive. Check out these results from HSBC. Their system was able to find 2 to 4 times more financial crime. Now, you'd think that would mean way more annoying false alarms for regular customers, right? Wrong. They actually cut those false positives by 60%. I mean, this is the dream scenario. Way better security and a much smoother customer experience.
Okay, for our last example, let's step out of the purely digital world and into the physical one. We're talking about heavy industry now. Think jet engines, power grids, massive factory equipment, where AI agents are preventing failures that could cost a fortune and even put people's lives at risk.
For decades, the way we maintained big industrial stuff was pretty simple and honestly pretty dumb. It was reactive, the break-fix model. You just waited for a critical machine to break down, and then you'd scramble to fix it. It was chaotic, super inefficient, and unbelievably expensive. The new model is predictive. Instead of waiting for the break, you use AI to prefix it, fixing it just in the nick of time. It maximizes uptime and minimizes cost. And the core technology that makes this all possible is, frankly, kind of mind-blowing. It's called a digital twin. Now, this is not just a static 3D model. I want you to picture a living, breathing, virtual copy of a real-world jet engine, and it's being constantly updated in real time with sensor data from the actual engine out in the world. It's a simulation so accurate it can basically predict the future, spotting tiny signs of wear and tear long before they could ever become a catastrophic failure. And what's that kind of predictive power worth in real money? Well, just by using this digital twin approach, GE Vernova's software has saved its customers more than $1.6 billion. That's the actual price tag of preventing unplanned downtime in the real world. So we've gone from movie night to stopping fraud to keeping turbines spinning. 3 totally different worlds, right? But what's so fascinating is that the playbook, the secret sauce for making AI successful, is pretty much the same across all of them. This is that universal guide. So here it is. This is basically the cheat sheet for what separates success from failure. The winners, they never start with the cool new tech. They always start with a real, painful business problem. They don't just hope the data's okay, they obsess over building a clean, strong data foundation. They avoid those risky, big bang launches and instead go for small, iterative pilots. And maybe most importantly, they don't chase this fantasy of full automation. They design for people to be part of the system from day one. And let's be really, really clear about this human-in-the-loop idea. This isn't just a temporary step while we wait for the AI to get better. No, it is a core, permanent design strategy. It's how you manage risk when the stakes are incredibly high. It's how you create this brilliant feedback loop where your human experts are constantly making the AI smarter. And crucially, it's how you build the trust that's needed for people to actually adopt and use the system. And that all leads us to what might be the single most important lesson in all of this. Pushing AI into a company isn't really a technology problem at all. It's a people problem. Just like the quote says, it's a change management initiative. Its success boils down to all the non-technical stuff, the company culture, the workflows, the training. If you get the people and the process right, the technology will take care of itself. So, we've seen the playbook in action, from Netflix to GE. You start with the problem, you build on great data, and you always design for humans and machines to collaborate. The examples prove that AI agents are already here, creating enormous value. So the final question isn't really for us, it's for you. Forget all the hype and the science fiction for a second. Looking at your world, what is the single most valuable, most frustrating, or most expensive problem that you could solve?